Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
We're back, folks, and I am today live in the House Caucus building, in the Cannon House office building, and have been talking to a lot of the members of Congress about what is going on with our economy, what's going on with healthcare, all the questions that you asked me on the show. This, of course, is the More Money Show. And so I'm pleased to have Greg Murphy, who is a third term or fourth term?
Yeah,
third term congressman from the great state of North Carolina, the Tar Heel State. And Greg Murphy is great in many aspects, but one of the most important things about Greg Murphy is you're one of the few actual practicing physicians in Congress.
Yeah, I think there may be a couple other now that have started to do it, or maybe never stopped. But I've never stopped.
There's a congressman from Tennessee, right? Who's a
maybe that might be.
Anyway, but let's get right down to this because this is so important.
Yeah.
Let's get to the whole issue of doctor-patient relationship.
Sure,
it seems like an old-time, concept. But I am disturbed by the fact that you don't have that like you used to.
No.
What do we need? And that's one of the most important parts of the healthcare system.
It is. And Stephen, I always look at the doctor-patient relationship as probably being the second strongest after the maternal fetal relationship, mother-child relationship, just in bonding, obviously parents and everything else. But what has eroded that is government. The healthcare systems, the electronic medical record, because we're forced to sit here and play on a computer, which is was started out as a billing device. That's why the electronic medical record was started. It has some good effects for it otherwise, but it's a challenge. We don't have enough doctors. We have too many regulations that say we have to do this, that, and the other stuff, and it's very challenging. I will tell you this, Stephen. Last night I was on the phone with a patient of mine. I still do this because I still care. I'd rather prefer doctor in front of me than congressman in front of me. And when I leave here, I still have doctor in front of me. Mm-hmm. I care deeply about our healthcare system. Mm-hmm. We're going in the wrong direction because of a lot of different proclivities of different organizations, agencies. And I don't think it's too late, but we're not in a good place right now.
So I couldn't agree more, and I want to suggest some ideas and get your reaction to this. So my wife and I basically are just using a concierge doctor, like someone like yourself, and we've almost opted out of the government system because it's so damn complicated and it's so expensive, and we pay the doctor when we go the old-fashioned way. He just gives us a bill and we pay it. I don't deal with the government or anything like that. By the way, pretty soon they're probably going to make that illegal to do something like that.
No, I won't let that happen.
But in any case, why can't we go back to that? My idea is most Americans, in my opinion, are overinsured for healthcare, not underinsured, and so we never ask, gee, how much will if you say to me, Steve, you may need a surgery or you need this treatment or that, I wouldn't normally ask you, well, gee, what is that going to cost me? Because somebody else is always paying for it. So why can't we just go back? And then, what I want to see is everybody is covered with sort of a catastrophic coverage. So obviously you have cancer or you have a chronic disease or you have a terrible accident. The insurance covered. But why can't we just go back to people paying more out of pocket? That will actually save money for patients in terms of much lower premiums.
I think it will, but you have to understand, and I think this is just one of the challenges we have. Insurance is an insurance pool. It's always you pull a lot of money. There are probably a few small users. So you look at some of the disasters that have happened on the Outer Banks and all the other coastal things. Well, people in Illinois and Michigan are helping to pay for some of that stuff because they pay into a pool. Right. If people just paid out of pocket, the vast majority of people could not afford if they had a catastrophic illness, or if they just have, but you're talking about a catastrophic plan, yes.
Right.
But for the vast majority of people, it would be very challenging to pay for these things. This is why, again, with employers...
Hold on. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit.
All right, well...
Because people are paying
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Tens of thousands of dollars in premiums every year, and most people don't have expenses.
Sure, to that point.
So in other words, I think actually people would save for money if they had, a high deductible plan. And incidentally, one of the things that really bothers me about the rules and the laws that you all have passed, not you personally, but David, under Obamacare, it's almost illegal to have a catastrophic coverage.
Well, let me, if I can divert for 2 seconds to talk about Obamacare. Obamacare was written by insurance companies for insurance companies, and this is never more prevalent. Look, I always challenge listeners to just literally take Google and go look at United Healthcare. Look at their profits since Obamacare. Look at some of the other insurance company profits since Obamacare. And by the way, if you look at what happened after the Senate voted for their CR and they did not include these enhanced premium tax credits, look at the four major insurance companies. Look at what their stock prices did the next day.
What happened?
They plummeted.
Yeah.
And you look at all these premiums.
That's really interesting.
This is basically to supplant what has gone on for insurance company losses.
Yeah, and by the way, the insurance companies have made a fortune off of Obamacare.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Right. You look at the hundreds of billions of dollars that the insurance industry has made since Obamacare has come in. And guess what hasn't happened? Premiums have never gone down.
Yeah.
Premiums have never gone down. Now, look, I can give you about 15 reasons why healthcare costs so much in this country, starting with insurance companies, starting with government regulation, lack of competition. Remember, the ACA did not allow associated health insurance plans.
That's terrible.
Because it was competition.
Yeah.
And so there are plenty of things that we can do to make healthcare a lot more affordable. The real issue is, all right, so somebody who makes $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, they come in, and God forbid they have to have their appendix taken out. They go to the emergency department and have a CAT scan, talk to an anesthesiologist, talk to a surgeon. It may be $9,000, $10,000. Do they have a catastrophic plan? For somebody who's making $60,000 a year, that's a huge burden. So I think there's a middle ground with some of this stuff.
Yep.
I think we have to look at these enhanced tax credits, enhanced premiums as a way that we're bailing out a failed system. But I think what we need to do, and we need to be serious about this, and I actually think this can be bipartisan, to look at why healthcare costs so much. That said, the first arm of the Democratic Party is the party itself. The second arm is the mainstream media. Now the third arm is the insurance industry.
Yes.
Because they poured plenty of money into California for Prop 50 to make sure that they had more Democrats.
The irony is, having lived through the Obamacare debate back in 2010, I believe it was at that time, the insurance companies were worried that it was going to just... Remember, there's this whole issue of, what do they call it, where the government could run the plan. I forget there was a term. In other words, the insurance companies didn't want, the government to run the plans because that would have...
look, I'm at the point now with these for-profit insurance companies. We have a lot of non-profit insurance companies. I think we need to seriously consider making them all nonprofit. But there are problems with nonprofit institutions when they pay their CEOs $50 and $70 million.
So we just have about a minute left. I'm talking to Congressman Murphy from the great state of North Carolina. Give us, in 1 minute, the three things that you would do right now if you were king for the day to improve both the affordability and the quality of our healthcare system.
Well, one might be to make insurance companies nonprofit.
Yes.
And so we throw the tax, the incentive out. Associated health insurance plans are a good thing for competition.
What is that? What is it?
That's basically saying craftsmen, plumbers, whatever, can put all together and have a good plan together. But they didn't want it in the ACA because it was competition. Yes. There's also things with our pharmaceutical industry. There's also things, truth be told, with physicians. we're getting to the point where we're ordering too many tests. There's such tort reform needs to happen in this country, government reform, and also the fact that there is an issue with ordering too much stuff. We're running up healthcare costs. We have a lot of people in the healthcare system, either through ignorance, lack of education, or what, because they order a lot more stuff.
I say that we could have better health care at almost half the cost if we did it your way.
I absolutely agree. There are literally 15 things, and I would beat on literally every aspect, and some of my colleagues may get mad at me, but we can make this system affordable for this country.
Amen to that. That's Congressman Murphy from the great state of North Carolina. This is the More Money Show. Thank you so much, folks. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to More Money with Steve Moore. You can hear More Money with Steve Moore Saturday afternoons at 1. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Every week, the Payne family cuts straight to the real financial story.
The one question, Bob, everyone's asking is, are we in an artificial intelligence bubble? You've been through boom and bust. What do you think?
No hype, no myths. Just what actually matters to your money.
Does feel very similar to what we experienced in the 90s. Where are we, though? Are we in 1995, 1997, 1999?
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.